My partner did not post the negative rebuttal to my affirmative post, so this video is going to be what I think she would have said or things that any other negative rebuttals mentioned. So in my affirmative video, I mentioned that all Americans and US citizens should have access to free health care, or at least free health insurance. That way, visits to hospitals and physicians and primary doctors and all of that are covered. And things including childbirth or life threatening emergencies that involve, let's say, a surgery or something like that, should be covered by the government in order to protect and keep its citizens healthy. One negative response might be that life expectancy isn't just about health insurance and health care. It can also be due to things like obesity, which some people deal with naturally versus obviously eating a lot or not exercising or anything that they tell you in school. Canadians actually have free health care and health insurance when it comes to more obviously important health related things or necessary doctor visits and things like that. And the rate of obesity in America currently sits at 32.5%, while in Canada it sits at 64%. So for someone to say that obesity could be a cause of a lower life expectancy actually has nothing to do with the topic at hand, because having free health care for Canadians can get them the help that they need if they are dealing with this, because their life expectancy is a lot higher than Americans' life expectancy, yet their obesity rate is almost double of what Americans currently deal with. Another thing that someone might argue is things like smoking, which leads to lung cancer and things like that, which obviously are unexpected medical causes. In America, we have currently about 12.5% of citizens that are active smokers and obviously at a higher risk for things like lung cancer. Whereas in Canada, they are actually at 15% of their citizens that are active smokers and at a higher risk for things like this, yet their life expectancy is still higher. So when you look at these two things, smoking, lung cancer, and obesity, when you look at these categories, in Canada's citizens remain higher percentages doing these things more or involved in this more, yet their life expectancy is still higher, is most likely due to the fact that their health care is accessible and not expensive. So with Americans having to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get this help, it is likely to decrease the average life expectancy because most people don't make it due to issues like this that arise. In Canada, if you happen to come across an unexpected medical cause, such as something like lung cancer from smoking, it's easier to get the help that you need or the care that you need in order to hopefully solve this issue, because your medical bills aren't as high. Therefore, you can still afford to pay the cost of living. It's easier to deal with unexpected medical issues when you don't have to pay for them, or at least pay out of pocket hundreds of thousands of dollars. So in Canada, the life expectancy rate is also higher because people survive things such as childbirth and other procedures along that line because the medical care they have is free. Whereas some people in the US, especially those living in the poverty range, would rather do things like childbirth at home and on their own time because they can't afford to get checked into a hospital and pay for this. And that leads me to the conclusion that medical insurance and medical care in the US should be free, because it will improve the life expectancy and the quality of life, and also help those that can't currently afford it be able to afford the cost of living, because that is something that results in people not getting the medical help that they need because they feel like they won't be able to afford things like rent anymore.